Happy evening. I'm sorry. I should have paused my TV before I started this. Hello, y'all. It is High Priestess Jamila. All right. If I don't find my remote, here it is. Okay. Okay. I have been making it a Netflix day. Okay. And I wanted to come and give a partial review of the movie on Netflix called Truth or Dare. And let me tell you, I couldn't watch the whole thing. I couldn't do it. Um, growing up, we watched movies like Freddy Krueger, Jason. These new horror flicks are like so deep. They are so deep, and I couldn't finish watching it because Jacob came downstairs and I didn't want him watching it. Like the last, if you've never seen the movie, then this may be a bit of a spoiler. Um, right when Jacob came downstairs, it was on the part where they were dragging the dude in the car. The dude was being drugged by the evil spirit by the car. And I said, oh God, he can't watch this. And so I didn't even want to watch it. It wasn't gory, but it was just terrifying, like kind of disturbing. So if you guys have a stomach for scary movies, then it would be something interesting. But what I wanted to talk about was what I saw of the movie and what I think of the whole thing, and to just give a witch's review of the movie. First of all, it was about some college students. They go and they rent out this haunted house so that they can play Truth or Dare. And when they get there, they basically are like trapped into where they're with this really evil spirit. And it's like, it's not like the Truth or Dare that we play where we can make a choice. I mean, this thing was like really, really evil to these kids. And so after one of their friends gets killed out in the front line, they end up leaving the house, but the thing followed them. It was very interesting. And basically, it's almost like looking at life where an evil spirit can, compel you to do certain things. And so as I'm watching this movie, I'm thinking this group of children, of not, they weren't children, they were actually in college. I kept thinking they're cursed. So what spirit was telling me is that they were cursed. And all throughout the movie, as I'm looking at it, I'm thinking, and I'm looking at all of the mistakes that they're making in the movie. And I think that this is most of our world. And I think that's what this movie was about, because this was the message that I got from it. So, sorry guys, I kind of been a little sick, little under the weather today, but that's to be expected after everything that's been going on. So all throughout the movie, like they are just giving this evil entity everything that it wants. Okay. And it's a movie, right? It's a movie, but the entity kind of forces them, right? And so nowhere in the movie do they have any spiritual knowledge of how to protect themselves from whatever this entity is or this evil is. And so stuff keeps happening to them after they leave the house, and it is a trip. Like it's a good movie, like it really is, but it scared me. And the reason why it scared me is because it was just like I'll finish watching it, but I just didn't want Jacob to see it because it's a lot of scary movies I don't let him see for real because he's too young for that. So anyway, in the movie they make so many different mistakes. So basically, like back in 1983, there was another group of college kids that go to this house, and everybody dies except for one person. And they kind of show her at the beginning of the movie. It forces her to pour acid over her head. She survives, but she has like burns and stuff, like she's like a burn victim. So they go and they see her. They're like, we're gonna go and see the person that survived. And I was thinking, that's not gonna do you any good. I was like, and I'm pretty sure like I should have watched the whole thing, so I can only give a partial review of it. But so they go to see the lady that survived, and what she tells them, which is totally horrible advice. I wouldn't have given them that advice. She tells them to share the dares. So basically, if the thing told them to drink poison. And so what they did, instead of one person drinking the poison, all four of them drank the poison. But they could all throw it up, so they did that. But then it just got worse and worse and worse. Throughout the movie, I'm sitting here looking at these kids and I'm like, all of them are cursed. Why won't they just get a damn reversal candle and start chanting? Why won't these kids get some dragon's blood and some sage and start chanting? And like, if you see the movie, it is a trip because, especially if you're a witch, you're thinking, and so it's not like I am unaffected by horrible negative spirits, even sick ones, even ones that want to take me out. Okay, I think that we all are. A lot of us are. Some people aren't. Some people are. Thank God when you wake up in the morning, you blessed. But throughout the whole movie, I'm thinking these kids are cursed. Why won't they just reverse the curse? And it's probably because it's just ignorance. I was thinking because I knew that they were going to do that, like the way that the movie script is. I knew that they were going to go and see the lady that survived, and she gave them bad advice because tragedy just befalled upon all of these people. And so when you think about it, even though our lives are not going to be that extreme for most of us, like if you watch the movie, because one of the kids, and yes, there is spoilers. I need to put spoiler alert in the title. One of the kids, the demon tells him to go rob a gas station. So he goes in to rob the gas station. I mean, it literally gives him 9 minutes to go rob a gas station. It gives him a gun to go and rob this gas station. And so the lady, he walks in there, he's like, ma'am, please. He's like, just give me something. He's like, just give me $1. You can just give me $1. If you could just, I need you to give me money. And so the lady, like, when he has his head turned, she pulls out a gun and shoots him. And I'm thinking, if I were her, I would have just gave him $1. Like, it just kind of makes you think about greed too. Like, I'm like, oh man, like if you see it, it's a trip. Anyway, back to what I was talking about. This world is filled with evil spirits. And this is one of the reasons why, as witches, we do what we do. And I don't think most of the world knows. I think that most people play the game of the entities instead of standing up to them, instead of banishing them. Okay? Instead of just banishing them, they play the game of the entities. Okay? Like what they did in that movie, which was a mistake. If they would have called on their ancestors, did some rituals, they'd have been okay. See the movie. It's a trip. And I was just like, oh my freaking God, why won't they go and get some spiritual advice? Because if they would have went to a spiritual advisor, they would have told them, y'all cursed and you need to get that curse off of you. Get you some Florida water, some sage, some dragon's blood, and banish whatever that entity is. No, they just kept playing around with it. They just kept playing the game, and each of them died. And, I got to watch the rest of the movie to see, like what actually happens. I just didn't want to watch it with Jacob. And so, maybe I'll make a part two to this, but that, what the heck? Sorry, y'all. Okay. That is the reason why witches do our Sabbaths. That's why we do protection. That's why we do reversals. And it's crazy because people are either miseducated or they're just miseducated. Just really a trip, okay? If you give evil that kind of power over you, it will destroy you. Y'all got to see that movie. It is a trip. And so, God dang it, why do I keep flipping my camera over? Sorry about that. And so, like, see the movie. I'm going to finish watching it. I got into the 2 sentence horror stories series, and it is a trip too, very, very deep and dark. But I'm gonna finish watching. I think I only had like 20 minutes left of it. That is why witches do what we do. And I was thinking, and I felt so blessed because I said, if I was there, okay, if I were there, I would have just reversed that goddamn curse, is what I would have did. I would have said, we gonna do some reversals. Okay. We gonna chant, we gonna banish it. I would have banished the entity, chanted, burn that motherfucking house down, because I'd have burned that house too. You know what I'm saying? But like the lady that they went to go see that survived it, she was like telling them, and it was almost like she was like ignorant too. Like she was like ignorant as hell too and didn't really know, you know what I'm saying? But it's a trip. So see the movie. But I was sitting there thinking, I was like, well, that's exactly what witches do. We are always in battle with evil. We are always, you don't never just give evil what it wants. You don't even have to. Like, and a lot of people don't even realize that. A lot, like I was sitting there looking at it, I was like, wow. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not talking about evil to where, somebody might break up or somebody may have an argument or, you know what I'm saying? I'm talking about the shit that was going on in that movie that was happening to them kids was very, very evil and sinister. You don't just give evil what it wants, ever. And this is exactly what these kids were doing. And I was thinking, where in the hell are their parents? Well, the kids were away at college. They were like in a dorm. And they just had no idea. You are very lucky if your mama was a witch. You are very lucky if your mama taught you how to protect yourself. You are very lucky if you know the craft. You are very lucky. For real. Because I think that like I don't know, like that was my take on it, because it sounded just like a curse. And it was so many different types of curses. It was like self-harm. It was like, y'all go see it. Go see it. It's on Netflix. It's called Truth or Dare. And that's one of the reasons why us witches hold our Sabbaths and stuff. That's one of the reasons why us witches do the work that we do. Because we are constantly at battle with evil. Constantly. We are. And it doesn't have to be as bad. It doesn't have to be bad like what y'all be seeing on YouTube with this crazy mess. It don't have to be that bad, but I think that it's ignorance. I think that there are a lot of cursed people. They are cursed and they're confused. They're very, very confused. You know what I'm saying? So see the movie and leave a comment. I'm going to finish watching the rest of it like in the next 30 minutes. I'm going to finish this episode of two sentence horror stories and I will see y'all later. But yeah, that's the moral to my story. That's my review of it. These days, when I watch these scary movies and stuff, I always look at it like even the older scary movies that I watch, like I always look at it from, well, I've always looked at it from that perspective. However, I used to watch movies with like, I used to watch it through different eyes. Now I'm watching it through my witchy eyes. And you know what I'm saying? Anyway, that's what I wanted to talk about. It has been High Priestess Jamila. I'll be back with a part 2 of this, okay? All right, blessed be.